So this is our topic of outline. We've got the background to the whole Macbeth. We've got character introduction, and then we've also got a summary for you. Okay, so let's start with the background. So this production was first performed in 1606 according to records. Some people think that it was produced earlier, but this is the first recorded event in history for this production. Then this play shows the effects of psychological and political ambition on those that seek power. As you will see, Macbeth has agreed for power, and it ends up destroying him and his wife. Some say that this play reflects Shakespeare's relationship with King James. So Shakespeare did have a very close relationship with King James, and it was a very conflict relationship. Sometimes they were nice to each other, sometimes they were not nice to each other, and it was a little bit difficult. And then the last little interesting fact that I found was that there are some people who believe that this play was cursed. So a few people believe that when you perform this play, something bad is going to happen to you, either because you were in the play or because you watched it. So for some reason, this is the only Shakespeare production that was believed to be cursed. Next one. Okay. Jerry.
Next one. So I would like to introduce the King Duncan. Is the King of Scotland and the father of Malcolm and Nobel. And Duncan is the model of a good and virtuous king for the welfare of the country, and is the living upbuilder of the political and the social order that destroyed. So, and the next one is the main character of the Macbeth. He's a brave soldier, but is free and ambitious. But most importantly, is his wife, far more ambitious than he. He's a nice, decent guy, as far as I'm concerned. I never read the Macbeth before, but that's why I read some of it and I know a little bit, but I think he's a nice, decent guy just because he was influenced by his wife. And Lady Macbeth, as I said before, is strong, more ruthless than his husband Macbeth. And it's some kind of masculinity order inside in her soul. So when seek to link to masculinity, to ambitions and violence. And is a strong and tough woman. In this era, we might be seeing some more women like her, and we call it in Chinese called 女强人. So it's far more interesting than I thought. And Banquet was the one Macbeth trust friend. He's the general in the Macbeth army, and so got suspended by Macbeth because Macbeth got suspected that he's gonna roll him in and kill him to be the crown and to be the king. And later hung Macbeth in his assembly by his goal, following other Macbeth's path. Because Macbeth assumed he's gonna take his throne away, so he killed his wife and his son. So son and him as well. So he's following him as next page. And Macbeth is the brother and a brave noble fighting Duncan's sons. Because Duncan is like a nice, decent guy and loyalty, treat their people very well, and Macbeth doesn't want to be part of the Macbeth's team, Macbeth's side, so he chose to Duncan's side, although he was dead before that. And Macbeth is deeply motivated by his wife and his son's death, because the three witches told Macbeth that someday that this man is going to take his wealth, position, and the throne. So he's going to stand up and against the Macbeth. a man of honors, prejudice, and true feeling, being a great and popular hero in Macbeth story. Yeah.
Okay.
This is the end of
Okay, so now we're going to move on to the summary of the play. So in Act 1, Macbeth discusses the victory against Norway and Ireland with his friend Banquo. While they were walking, 3 witches appeared. These witches tell Banquo and his son that his sons will be the future kings and that they will live a very happy life. The witches then tell Macbeth that he will be rewarded greatly for his bravery in battle by obtaining new titles and then becoming king. Then in Act 2, Lady Macbeth orders her husband to murder King Duncan, and in order for him to make the prophecy come true. The princes flee, fearing for their lives, making Macbeth the new king. So this is when everything starts unraveling, because this is when Macbeth's mental health goes downhill. Then in Act 3, despite his success, Macbeth remains uneasy. He invites his friend Banquo to a dinner party, and then he decides to hire 3 hitmen to kill him as he fears his friend knows too much. Remembering, Banquo was with him when the witches were there, so he knows the prophecy that they told Macbeth. The hitmen were successful in killing Banquo, however, they were unable to kill Banquo's son, enraging Macbeth. Macbeth then starts to see Banquo's ghost. This is when Lady Macbeth starts taking control. She's a very possessive woman. She wants power. She thrives on power. So making her husband do her bidding is exactly the type of woman she is. Next one. Then we have Act 4. Macbeth meets with the witches again, and they reveal some truths about him. The witches warn him about Macduff. Macbeth then takes over Macduff's castle, and Macduff flees to England. Then Macbeth orders his men to kill Macduff and everyone connected to Macduff. So this was a mistake on Macbeth's part, because by killing Macduff's family and taking over his castle, he enraged Macduff, which led to the revenge and his ultimate death. Next. And then we have Act 5, which is the last act in this play. The madness starts taking over Lady Macbeth. She starts sleepwalking and talking. Macduff gets word about his family and the castle, and he then goes into a fit of rage and grief. Lady Macbeth then commits suicide, sending Macbeth into depression. Macduff then gathers troops to attack Macbeth and kills him. Order is then restored. So in this scene, you guys will see a lot of violence, to be very blunt. Because when Lady Macbeth sleepwalks, she tells the doctor and one of the servants that she has ordered Macbeth to do all these terrible things. And the doctor and the servant are completely surprised at what she's saying. But she doesn't even realize that she's doing it. Because when you sleepwalk, you don't know that you're doing it. And then when she dies, because she commits suicide, when she dies, Macbeth doesn't know what to do. Because basically his whole relationship with her, she's always told him what to do. And he can't think for himself. And this makes him go completely crazy. He's already paranoid, he's already scared that people are going to try to kill him, that they're going to take away all his power, and by her dying, just makes that even worse. The other thing that's also very interesting to keep in mind, the 3 witches, they tell Macbeth that he cannot be killed by anyone born from a woman. So when they say born from a woman, it means like natural birth, and the woman survives, okay? The interesting part, Macbeth, he had to be cut out from his mother, and his mother died while giving birth to him. So technically speaking, Macduff was not born from a woman. And that is why Macduff is the downfall to Macbeth.
Okay. This is a famous quote from the Macbeth. Do things at your own pace. Life's not a race. One step at a time, you will get there. And the third is you have the courage to begin again. It's pretty much of it. Three close-up here is probably mainly saved by the Macbeth and the macbeth, because I think they are the main character of the whole story. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, thank you.